Hey everyone, I know that some of you are probably attempting to use the P90X Nutrition Guide, and some of you are just trying to do your own healthy eating thing, and some of you don't have a clue what to do in regards to nutrition. Well, we always have my general guidelines that we post in our accountability groups. But if you're going to be using the P90X3 Nutrition Guide, I just wanted to kind of walk you through it a little bit. I know it can be somewhat confusing. We've had a lot of questions pop up lately. So in the hopes that this video will kind of help to answer some of those questions and give you a little more confidence as you're going in and using your P90X3 Nutrition Guide. Now, the first thing that you have to do is your nutrition quiz. And the nutrition quiz is going to help you determine what group you're actually going to be in, whether you're going to be A, B, C, D, E, or F. And it's really important that you know that because that's going to actually correlate with the calorie level that you'll be on while you're doing P90X3. Now realize this is not written in stone, okay? So that's one of the beauties of you having a dietitian available here, me, is that if it's not really working out for you, or you feel super tired during the day, or you feel like it's just too much food, then let me know and we can kind of tweak it a little bit more. Because again, these are meant to be easy guidelines that the average person can just go in, kind of get a good guesstimate of their calorie intake without doing some long drawn out equation. All right. So once you figure out what category you fall into, and then it correlates with your calorie level over here, the next thing to do is to figure out what in the world all these numbers mean. And we're just going to use category A as an example, or plan A rather. And so plan A here says that for breakfast, you get 2 protein, 3 carbs, and 1 fat. Now, the way that works is you're going to actually have to flip through your manual. Now, this plan guide is on page 21, and you will actually flip over to page 32 to start looking at the different foods. And one thing that I want you to notice is that in that carbohydrate group are your non-starchy vegetables as well. So like those green leafy vegetables, kale, even broccoli, cauliflower, squash, zucchini, spinach, all of those are going to fall in under non-starchy vegetables. So we don't typically think of those as carbs, but in the amount that you're going to be getting them, they're going to end up counting towards your carb serving. So I want you to be very mindful of the fact that you need to get those items in. You need to get non-starchy vegetables in. And normally I will recommend to people get half your plate of non-starchy vegetables. And that's just a great way to get in nutrient-dense foods, but it's also a great way to get in a good amount of volume without bringing in a lot of calories. And it also helps to give you that nice little feeling of fullness so that you don't overeat on the other things like the meats or the different carbs like starches and potatoes and corn and peas, that sort of thing. Those are the things that you don't want half of your plate to be filled with. You want the non-starchy ones there. So having said that, I think I made that clear now. You want plenty of non-starchy vegetables. What's listed over all the way to the right is a serving that's going to count as 1 carb. 1 carb, not 1 gram of carbohydrate, but 1 carb serving per your P90X3 nutrition guide. Okay, so I'll just take as an example, 1 carb serving of spinach is going to be basically 2 cups of cooked spinach. 2 cups of cooked spinach. Or for kale, 2.5 cups of cooked kale. Now it also gives you a hand measurement too, 1 fist, a handful, that sort of thing. So that's going to count as 1 carb. But then you can also go over to your starchy vegetables and you can fill one of your carb needs from the starch group. You can also fill it from the carbs that come from fruits. So if you need 3 carbs at your particular meal, you could choose 1 from non-starchy vegetables, 1 from starchy vegetables, and 1 from fruits. Easy enough, right? If you get 2, you can decide which 2 you want to choose from. Okay? So that's how that works. For the protein, each serving of protein is also listed in your meal plan as well. And you'll notice that especially like on the 1500 calorie one, it's protein heavy in the morning. And there is actually some science behind that, trying to get in at least 30 grams of protein first thing in the morning. So when you look at the protein amounts that are coming in, those are actually going to be on page 37. And that could be egg whites, or it could be a chicken breast, or it could be non-fat plain Greek yogurt. So let's look at that yogurt. 3/4 of a cup is going to count as 1 protein serving. So you could actually have that yogurt in addition to 5 large egg whites if you wanted to. Or you could double up your non-fat plain Greek yogurt, have a cup and a half, and then when you have your carbs, you could add in some fruit and use that as one of your carb servings. You can bring protein powder in as well, and also your Shakeology will count towards your protein intake in addition to that. So you really will be able to kind of use your protein as a serving too. So if you're having Shakeology for breakfast, that really will, for the most part, take care of your protein needs if you're using 1 full scoop. Because actually, even on here, it has that for Shakeology, half a scoop counts as 1 protein. So you'll be able to incorporate that in as well. And then for fats, which is on the page before proteins, that particular 1500 calorie plan had 1 fat serving in. So you could have avocado, for instance, or maybe you want to have peanut butter. That'll count as a fat. Or you want to add in some ground flaxseed into your Shakeology, or into your oatmeal if you're having oatmeal and egg whites, for instance, for breakfast. And so that's how this is used. Where it has it says micromanagement system. So for those of you who like to measure everything out and you don't like to guesstimate, then you're going to use that. If you just want to kind of guesstimate according to the size of your hand, that sort of thing, then you'll go the way of the hand, which is going to be in the 3rd column. So that's how you're going to be planning things out over the course of the day. And I really like to make Post-it notes for each meal so I can kind of move it around and change things. So you can use that method. I've done that for the 21-day fix, so y'all can look at that video that's on my YouTube channel. But for this, I really would just kind of write it out, what you need, and then have several columns listed to the right, and then just put in foods that fit into those categories. I love doing meal planning, so for me, it's fun. But if it doesn't seem fun for you, which I mean, it probably won't be a barrel of monkeys for you, but just look at the book, look at the foods that you would typically eat. If the amount here is overwhelming, you know there's foods on here that, like me personally, I'm not going to eat fish. So I could just go through and kind of cross out, I'm not going to eat clams, I'm not going to eat shellfish, I'm not going to eat anchovies or sardines. So I can actually kind of bring it down then into foods that I know I'm going to eat, and then this list doesn't look nearly as overwhelming. All right, guys, I hope that helped you out, answered some of your nutrition questions. Sorry for the length of this video, but I felt like it was a really important topic, and we've had questions coming up recently with new people who are getting started on P90X3, and I just want you guys to be in the know, because your P90X3 Nutrition Guide is a great reference for you. But if you ever have any questions, go ahead and probably the easiest way for you to do it is you can post in the group. Also, feel free to send me a message. Just shoot me a direct message. All right. Hope this helps out tremendously. And post your questions below so that we can get those answered for you. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.